Okay. 1 minute, let me just check if everything's okay before we start. Wait, how do we already have a like? Okay. Let's see, should I just start or should I wait for some more people to come in? Because this will be archived, but I kind of don't want people to. I don't want people to just like miss some of it, I guess. I guess I'll just start. Actually, is this close enough? Should I zoom in more? Hold on. Trying to get this to work out right. Hopefully it does. Hold on, let me add some hashtags in the description because I think that will make this a bit VTuber again. Hello live. I guess that works. Okay. Otherwise, if the music is ever too loud, just tell me, because I feel like what I'm hearing is not the same as what you guys are hearing, so the music may be a bit too loud on the other side, or too low. Hopefully it's not too low, because I don't want it to be too low that you can't hear, but I don't want it to be too high that you can't hear my voice. I hope that's good. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna start with so today I'm gonna do a critique of all the Hololive outfits, and if I can get through that fast, then I'll probably do some other like anime idol outfits, like maybe from Love Live or some of the other lesser known ones, maybe even the male ones, you know, basically just anything you guys want me to. Anyways, so I'm gonna start with, I believe her name was Stefana, I think. She's the nature one. And I think, like, on an objective, just looking at just the design, just how good, just like, I guess I don't want to say art quality, it's more just like how together it is. I guess she's like the best put together one. I think at the end I'll have all of them on here just so we can compare. But so I don't think I have too much problems with Fauna's outfit per se, really, because it's like I said, it's very put together, and I like how she has the one stocking here and no stocking here, very nice asymmetry that doesn't really how do I put it? It doesn't make it does I'm just missing all the fucking words today. It doesn't make you feel uncomfortable with the symmetry. It's very nice, you know. I think there's probably a word to describe that, but I can't think of it right now. So I think just the main not problem particularly, I can't do this. The main like thing I have with this is that she seems like a very, just like a jumble of what you think nature would be put together, I guess, because like I like these horns that are they're actually tree branches. I think that's very creative. I like some flowers in her hair, though I think they should have put more colors into these flowers, maybe, because they're kind of not colored. And I like the golden apple here. I'm sure there's like a lore behind this. I kind of wish they put that up so we can kind of see maybe if there's a lore. There may be, and I just missed it somehow. I don't know. And I like the apple, but also I think this could be like a reference to the Garden of Eden, like the apple there, or it could just be a random golden apple. In which case, not very interesting. I don't know about this like back thing here because it goes into this thing, which I guess could be kind of creative. But I don't know. How do I put this? It's like it's very much just there for like the thing. By the way, don't take my like quote unquote critique too seriously. I'm really just looking at them and giving my thoughts on them because I couldn't really think of like a better word for it. Analysis, I guess. Um, like I said with fauna, there isn't really much to say other than it's a pretty design. It's like it's nice. There's not much to really say about it. These sleeves are really nice. They remind me of yeah. Oh hi Damien. I'm good. Sorry, it's been a while since I've streamed because like things have been coming up and I just started classes again, so it's been kind of you know thing. But I'm still gonna try to stream obviously. So yeah, today I'm just gonna look at some Holoen live outfits, and Holoen is the VTuber group from Hololive. That's the English base, and this is the second generation. And I call this a critique, but I'm really just looking at it and giving my thoughts on it. And for Fauna, I generally like her design. Like, there's not really much to say about it, really. The apple seems to be like the main focus point here, but I don't. I think there is like a golden apple lore thing. Hi, Amelia. Yeah, hold on. Let me just see. Is there like a golden apple lore for golden apple lore? Okay, so it depicts like golden apple is an element that appears in various national ethnic folk legends or fairy tales, streaming apples. So I guess there is something behind it, but I kind of wish it would be more than just, it's nature and golden apples are a thing that appears often. So let's give her one. Like, I kind of want to see more from it. Like, is there something she does with the apple? Is that connected to her design somehow? Like, is she just holding it for the sake of holding it? Is that like the entirety of the world's nature? Kind of want to see more of that. Other than that, though, like I said, I like this asymmetry between like one stocking and the other not, but there's still like this anklet on it. I really like that. And yeah, like I said, this sleeve thing is actually really creative because well, it reminds me of the one from, what was her name again? Shiro Ori from Kumo Deska, the spider anime from like 2 seasons ago, something like that. Yeah, it reminds me of that. Well, my voice keeps like cracking. I don't know why. Yeah, so like other than that, it's like a very general design. Like she has this dress that isn't, it's a strapless dress, and then she has to wrap the the thing around it. Also, I think this collar is separate from it, which I don't know if I like it separate, because see, it's separate from the outfit. I don't know if I like that too much, just because because like it looks like it's supposed to go with it, but then it isn't, so it feels kind of uncanny. Like, this looks like it's connected to it, but it's actually not, because you can see that there's a thing here, and then yeah, see. But all in all, I think Fauna's design is pretty well put together. I think it's just like a pretty good. It's like there's nothing noteworthy about it, other than I will say that the artist is a very talented artist. I can see the detail, the skills put into this, but design wise, it's good, you know. Right, yeah, definitely. Like, see, if this was in a comic, they would have to like not render as much, so it would be more like this right here, like not as rendered, mostly base color, maybe some like shading here and there, you know. If that was a comic, they would have to like reduce this down a lot. Yeah, so let's see the other designs. I have them right here. I didn't want to like fill the page with them. And I think the next one was yeah. This is hold on, let me just grab it. Hold on, let me just move that out the way. So let's enlarge it just a tad. Hopefully we can see it, because sometimes when you let's see, can you see that? Hold on. You know, I should probably consider putting the chat on screen so you can tell like what the lag is. I'm gonna have to find a way to do it. I keep forgetting to, and like, yeah, sorry about that. But anyways, here is Sana, and her name, I believe, is like a thing off of NASA. You know, NASA backwards is Sana, and that's creative. I like that. Anyway, Sana. So like again, don't take this critique too seriously. I don't want this to be seen as like me like talking bad about it. This is more of me just like saying my thoughts and like just things I don't get why they did what they did, most basically, kind of. And one of it is this worm thing. I think there was something about this, if I can remember it right. Let me just see. But even then, I feel like the difference in art style makes it feel kind of uncanny again, you know, like why the random change in art style with the worm. But Sana, worm, hello, what? Is that a thing with the worm? I feel like there is, but I can't quite remember it. It has something to do with astrology or like space for sure, like a space worm. Oh, okay. Hold on, let me see. I think this is it. Sana's mascot is Yatakarasu, a sun god for majestic. Wait, no. Hey, wait. Wait, no. This isn't a three-legged crow. Okay, I don't know what the thing is, but where is the worm thing that is on the thing? This is odd. Yeah, I can't really see anything for the worm. Hold on. Okay, Hold on 1 minute. I'm trying to find anything on this worm, and I can't for some reason. Well, anyways, there probably is some kind of lore of Sana of Kolioko. Oh, let me check her out then, real quick. I'm getting sidetracked, but you know, it's always nice to look at. Sana Kolioko. Oh yeah, okay, I see this. Very interesting design. I like the kind of edgy look. If I'm looking at the right character, I can't be sure, but very edgy, very red and black. But anyways, back to Sana. Yeah. So this worm thing always kind of bothered me because this is a random change in style compared to everything that's around it. You know, it's just one color. It's just there's no rendering, which is okay, but like it's very odd when you compare it to everything around it. But secondly, what? Let me just get something here. What is this? What is this like mosquito thing? 'Cause as far as I can tell, there's nothing about this thing that connects to Sana in any way. Maybe it's like some kind of black hole or like space swirl, something like that. I don't know. It feels very weird because it's just plunked onto her head. Like if this was actually like a black hole or like I think that there was something that was kind of like this in space. But even then, if it was that, shouldn't it be more like incorporated into the design somehow? Maybe a hair clip or like if they wanted to do it like this, maybe, I don't know, like a hairpiece or something, but they just plopped it onto her head, and I don't. That just feels odd to me, right? It's a mosquito like thing. It really does look like that, and I get it's made as a joke, as a like the other VTuber Hololive members. I think they joke that that's a mosquito killer, but again, I don't get the reasoning behind that. Also, okay, so if you go on Twitter or it's okay, Amelia. See ya. We'll have fun. Don't worry. Have a nice day too, Amelia. But yeah, so if you go on Twitter or anywhere else, Sana's design is definitely the most, I guess, controversial, quote unquote. Like people definitely have a lot to say about her design, and one of the big things about that makes it so that a lot of people feel like this uncanniness about her design is that you see these three ball things on her head. I said this on my Twitter too, but so these three balls on her head, it basically implies a color palette. Like when you look at a character, so let's take Fauna over here for instance. If you just zoom out from a far distance, the colors you see the most is essentially what you're supposed to. It's essentially what the entire design is telling you is the palette. Like this, if you look at it from a distance, you see green, you see kind of yellowish, maybe some dark blues there, but then there's this bright red, and like this is the color palette you're supposed to see. So it's maybe like green. Okay. Oh my god. So like you see some green, you see some red. Like this is essentially what the picture is telling us is the color palette. So like if if we don't see that but we still see this, then people who have seen Fauna for a while and knows her just from this color palette will know that it's her. Like there's that whole meme where it's like just a whole picture and it's like each character is like a different color here, like so this would be a character, this would be a character, but all you see are the colors and people still know who they are, and that's because they know what the color palette is, right? Let's undo all that. Whoops. And see, the problem with Sana is that when you zoom far away enough, the three most, like the brightest colors you see is these three balls. Like even if they're tiny, they're the things that sticks out the most, essentially, because these are the colors that catches your eye the most. But then when you look, but then you don't see those colors anywhere else on her design, and that is the problem. Like this is the only orange in the color anywhere, and it's just a random orange to the side. There's nothing connecting this to her. And when you look at some of the other Alive members' mascots, their colors still reflects their mascots' colors still reflect their own colors. So you see like there's a connection between them, right? But there isn't one here. But even when you look at Sana herself, there isn't like a connection between these colors and like just Sana. So if you block out, like if you don't see this, then see, there isn't anything that connects that to her. So that's what makes her kind of uncanny. Like even her hair, you could say it's a similar color, but it's not really. And this blue is a bit too dark to really say it. That's like the thing. And that's, I guess, the main thing with Sana is that like your eyes keep pulling you to these two areas, and then it doesn't pull your eye anywhere else on her body at all. Your eye doesn't flow down her body like the way Ceres would, or Fauna would, right? Like when you look at Sana, I'm messing up all their names, sorry. But when you look at Fauna, you kind of get something of an eye flow, like her hair will lead you down, and yeah, that's also just like the shape of the hair, but then it slowly transitions into the next color. Like, so there's this green on her hair, but then there's this green on the flowers here and some over here, and it leads you down. And then there's also this pink that then starts here and then to the lower part of her sleeves and then down to here, and then even the blue, like you start at the center with her ribbon and then to her chest area, to her skirt, and to here. And this is another thing that's good about Fauna's outfit, is that this dress thing, it kind of breaks up the the color in the center, so it does kind of lead you down more than it would if it's just like a solid color, you know? So that's a good thing. But yeah, when you look at Sana's, there's nothing that really leads you down. Like her hair, yes, but color-wise, the most you can really get is this blue that kind of leads you down almost. But And another thing that I don't know if I really like is that with Sana's outfit, it's just a wrap on a wrap on a wrap. Like there's like this inner part here, and then there's this outer wrap here, and then there's another wrap here, and then there's another. Like, can you be more creative? Like, why is it just a bunch of wraps? Like, maybe if they were, so Sana's supposed to be like to represent a planet, right? So she's a planet, and I guess that kind of makes sense because sometimes you see those planets with like these things, like that thing around them. So it's like they could have done something with that. So maybe make some asteroids floating around here, or like another cool thing they could have done to help the color thing is that. 1 minute. I thought I heard something. That's weird. But yeah, another thing they could have done to help the color thing is that if they took some of these and they just made it float like just kind of around, and then, you know, just like make this. Oh, okay, this one's kind of hard to do because it's the same similar color. They could have done something like this. Like they could have done something like that, and then it would feel a bit more like together, right? Yeah, okay, bye. Cool, yeah, I'll see if I have the time to watch that, because I also plan on watching Squid Game on stream next week if I can find a way to, I guess, find a way to watch it, because most of the plays have like a bunch of ads. But yeah, see ya. And those are archives. You can still watch it whenever you're free. But yeah, so. Another thing they could have done to help with this is that maybe if they had these instead of it, let's God, why is this so stiff? Weird. Brush is weird today. But yeah, let's say instead of, yeah, this is not the best edit I've ever done. I can do this better, I swear. But like, say maybe if they did this, and then maybe if they like. Did this, and then like if they were to stretch it out more, and then like I said, they do the little tiny floating bits around more, then that could be kind of cool. Like that could be kind of cool, you know. Like if they do something like that, I feel like I should be putting more effort into like these little edits, but I want to not get sucked into that, so yeah, they could have done something like that and not have it just be like centered down here. I guess he has these two. Again, why is there another shade of blue here that isn't anywhere else on this? Like it's nowhere else on this. Why? Right? Why? And I don't get it. Why? Like this blue is just nowhere else on here. They could have used this maybe like for this thing back here. That could have worked. Maybe a drink of water real quick. Oh, also having her what are these called again? These arm bands, not arm bands, these arm stockings, whatever, have it being the same color as her hair. When you zoom out, they kind of disappear. They kind of blend into the hair, and then it looks like she has no arms. So that was kind of a weird thing. Like they could have grabbed one of these other colors. Like would this one work? Yeah, even this one would work like a bit better to separate it from the hair, you know? That, or they could have gone with this this magenta, and then that could be interesting, or even the blue could be kind of like more makes it look more together with this outfit. Like they could have done that. So yeah, again, very odd decisions I guess they made. Also, I saw someone like did a redesign of Sana, and they had like this belt thing around her be like a bunch of not asteroid, a bunch of like space rocks, and then that looks like one of those planets that has all the space rocks floating, and that was cool. That was creative. So yeah, Sana, like she's the artist is talented, but I just feel like there's a bunch of decisions that I don't get why they chose, quote unquote. You know, very interesting. Anyway, so next we have 1 minute. Scroll. Ah, yes. Okay, this is what was her name again? I'm forgetting all their names. Her name was what was it? Right. Auto Crony. Okay, I'm sure I think there's probably like something with that, like Chronos, I think, was probably the intention. But okay, so here we have Crony, and again, so I have a lot to say about this one too, but just from a general glance, this is a very interesting and very visually interesting design. There's lots of like shapes and lots of colors. Not lots of color. It has like it breaks up the thing. There's like no color clumping too much. And so my first question with this is that so she's like a time lord. I think is her what was it? Her concept, I think, was the Time Lord. But all like they just plunked a clock thing onto her head. Like again, they just plunked it onto her head. They didn't really do anything with it other than just putting it onto her. And I don't like. There's nothing wrong with that like design style, but I personally don't like it too much because why don't you incorporate it into it? Why are you just putting it on? So like if it was say yeah, I'm just looking at the first thing I can see. Hi Omar, I'm just critiquing Hollow Life designs right now, and I'm not trying to be mean or anything. I'm really just like putting my thoughts out because I have my thoughts, and I really like designing, and I like designing outfits and characters, so you know I kind of put my thoughts out there. And I already did Fauna and Sana, and this will be archived so you can see that then. But so right now this is Crony, and again, she's a Time Lord or whatever, and they just plunked a clock thing onto her head. Like that's kind of boring, kind of, because okay, yeah, do your homework. Hopefully this will be relaxing. I have some background music on. It's like a coffee house type music. It's hopefully it's not copyrighted. It says it's not copyrighted. No, but yeah, Crony. They just put a clock thing onto her head. They didn't really do much with it. I feel like they could have like made it into maybe a headdress or something. Whoops. Yeah, so they could have like maybe. Yeah, I'm not the best at like on site editing, like on hand editing. I'm not the best, but yeah, they could have done like like a headdress, or I don't know, maybe headphones somehow because she's time, so sci-fi headphones or like something, and not just putting a clock onto her head. I'm just saying. And the second thing, that this isn't really a design problem, this is more like a technical design problem, quote unquote. I don't know how to say it, but so these weapons that she has, so these, you can tell these are supposed to be like stabbing. Okay, this is the wrong, like not the best color, but yeah, you can see this is like a sword, right? This is very clear a sword, something you stab with. But these handles, there is no way you can get any kind of like grip or any kind of force behind that, because like I don't know how to explain it without actually showing the thing itself, but when you hold it, especially when you hold it like this, it's going to spin. It's gonna spin, and you can't get a grip on it to like actually stab somebody. Like you can't get the force to stab somebody with this kind of handle. This kind of handle is just like if it's like a kettle or something that you hold. You can't push on it that well, you know? Like you can't, like this can spin, sure, but this isn't, like a spinning thing, a spinning weapon type would be like, this would be perfect for maybe like a fan, if they did like here, maybe a fan, maybe, quote unquote. But even then, like this, you can't get a grip on it because it's curved, so you can't get a complete grip on it to force it, because then the weight of it would just force it to spin down. Unless you have just like crazy muscle, because you'd have to exert an extremely like a necessary amount of force just to use this weapon. And like, this has nothing to do with design wise itself. Like, clearly this is not a real weapon. She's not a real like this character is not real. Like, we can't really, that's not really like something in this world, you know, so it doesn't really matter either way. But it really annoys me because this does not work. This would, the gravity would, the weight of it would just pull it down, and then you can't stab with it, if that makes any sense. Yeah, that's just a thing. I don't know, sometimes I like designing weapons too, and this kind of annoys me. I'm sorry. I think the artist of this is actually a professional artist. I think it was it VIET? I think it was VIET. Yeah, so they probably know more about it than me, but just from my knowledge, this feels really weird because you can't get a good grip on it to stab. But anyways, other than that, I think her design in general is pretty good. Like, her outfit is interesting. There's like this, he has that like kind of split skirt short thing going on. Very interesting. Oh, I really like her shoes actually. Like, there's some heeled kind of, I don't know what these are called again, cuffed, yeah, short, not shorts, shoes. And there's this on it that I don't know if it has anything to do with time or if it's just like an interesting design, but they look interesting, like that. And yes, so she does have something of a headdress on, so I don't know why they can just incorporate this clock thing onto her headdress as well, and they just had it floating. I don't get it. Like, maybe if they explained it, then I could get it, but right now, not really. Though I do like this, what is this called? This kind of thing. Even though, I don't really, it's just a piece of cloth that's on her head. Yeah, it's just a piece of cloth. And I guess just like as decoration, it looks really nice, but, Also, is there like a ribbon back here that's completely blocked by this? Okay, that kind of defeats the point of the ribbon because then this cloth is covering it. Huh. But otherwise, I really like these sleeves that she has going on. Wait, are they? I don't know if these sleeves are attached to anything. Okay. That's cool too. I think the sleeves I have on my design that I'm working on right now, they're also not attached to anything, so I think that's still nice. It's just, it feels like it's attached onto something, and that has a you know. But otherwise, I think Crony's design is it's visually interesting, very visually interesting. But I just don't get this weapon thing. Like, you can't stab with this, or if you do, then you're just exerting. I forgot the word, but you're just using way more force than you're gonna like get out of it, you know. Like, you're gonna stab it, sure, but you're gonna take a lot more muscle just holding it up and stabbing it than the force that's gonna come out of it, basically. Grab more water because I'm talking a lot. Anyways, okay, next we have Mume. And Mume is, I think civilization was her concept. Civilization. Let's put her down here and hopefully it won't distort it too much. Because sometimes when you enlarge it, it kind of distorts it pretty bad. Anyways, Nanashi Mume. I think her design is probably the most interesting one. Well, I don't know. Battles. like the mouse's design, the rat's design is pretty good too. But I really like this outfit she has, the outfit Mume has on, because it does very much scream civilization. Like this is very much like an adventure, an explorer type outfit. Like there's the leather skirt here, and we can't see with this color. Yeah, this is the leather skirt that goes back here. Very nice. And then there's those puff sleeves that you usually see during the God, I'm bad with like the centuries, but around the time when people were discovering land, America, whatever, I think these puff sleeves, I think these are like pretty historically accurate. But okay, one thing I don't like too much is, so they have this like this cape, and I like the cape itself. This very like split cape thing. It very much gives off the feathery vibes, and I think she's supposed to be like an owl, or maybe she just is supposed to be similar to an owl, something like that. She's kind of a bird, maybe not a full bird, but kind of a bird. And I like how it like this implies that like visual storytelling, very nice. But so her hair here, it blends into this cape, and you can't really tell where it ends. Like I think from what we see over here, it just splits into the two ends, right? But when you put the cape behind it, it just melts into one shape. So you can't really tell whether this is her hair or this is the cape. And from far away, that's really hard to tell. And yeah, I don't like that too much. I think what they should have done was maybe make the cape more together, like maybe from here to here, so then you can see a gap for the hair. Or like maybe they should just had it like on the side, maybe. That could be interesting, if I can do it right. So yeah, maybe they could have done something like that, or something. They could have done it like that and then not have the hair on the sides. Like that could be interesting too, and it wouldn't like clash with the cape. I really like these feathers, though I feel like it might look better if maybe one of them was smaller, because there's a bit too much symmetry here. Hold on 1 minute, I'm gonna use the bathroom. Okay, I'm back. But yeah, I think that it would have been more interesting if it was either like maybe one feather on this side, or maybe one big feather, one small feather, or something like that. Because this symmetry is a bit uncanny to me for some reason. It just feels like it's mirrored and not very naturally either, you know. And oh, I do like this like hood she has on. I think this actually is an owl, like a horned owl, I believe. So yeah, I like the bird concept, and it fits very well with like civilization, because I think birds are usually what you think of when you think of civilization. Weirdly enough, it's like because birds are kind of what like birds are very useful, basically. Like both, I think some people use them for tracking, and their meat is always very helpful, and their feathers are definitely helpful. So basically birds can be really helpful to like early adventures, early civilization. Oh yeah, and down here birds are really prominent in the early civilization. So I guess this is hieroglyphs, so like Egypt, around those areas, definitely. So yeah, I do see where they're coming from. It's just this cape thing. Every time I look at this, it's always like, so does her hair go all the way, or is that her cape? Is all of this her cape? Like, very Very interesting. Though again, one thing I do like is like she has all these things on her belts, all these tools. So he has a knife here, and then a light here, a bag here. Yeah, very nice. Oh, I also really like this the gloves she has on. Very utilitarian, not utilitarian, very practical. Very nice. And oh, they're doing that asymmetrical like stocking thing again here, and very nice. I love that. And I like her shoes too, though. Like this is more of just like a practical thing. You're not gonna think about this too much when you're just looking at a model, a design on your screen. But I feel like these would be a little too baggy to be running in. Like even like the ones that I guess pirates wear, they're a bit more together than this. Like this random opening here is kind of weird, but I think they still look pretty good, like look wise. I don't get this actually with her glove. I don't get this. Why are only these two fingers like here? Because, like, say on a smudge card for like tablets for drawing, I believe it's only these two fingers, and that these two fingers don't have any because. Well, like, wait, I'm trying to remember the last time I wore a smudge card. It's been a really long time. No, actually, I think it was these two fingers that I covered, and then these three fingers aren't because like this is the area where you would touch the tablet, so then it's guarded, so it doesn't affect the tablet in any way. So like you don't accidentally make like random strokes with the fingers that are touching the tablet. Let me just Google it to make sure I'm actually thinking of the right thing. Smudge card. Glove. Yeah. So it's only these two fingers that are covered, and then these aren't. So I see so you can see the point with that, but then I don't see any situation where these two fingers has to be covered, this one has to be covered, and only these two. Like, what situation is that? Like, I guess if you do the silent coyote thing, then maybe, but okay, I don't really get that. But whatever. Design-wise, still very nice, though. Very nice. Just like I guess objective-wise, or like if you're just looking at it, it does look very nice. But when you look at it closer, then this thing definitely makes it look kind of weird. Like, I cannot tell where her hair ends and where her cape begins, kind of. And I feel like you should be able to see that just from a glance, you know? Like, I sound like I'm just nitpicking, but when it's a design, then with a design, the only intention with like a design is when people look at it. It's just to look at. So if people look at it and it's kind of off, then that's already kind of not fulfilling its intention, you know? Like obviously there are other intentions like portraying, conveying like the persona of the person who's playing it, definitely, but I'm not the best at explaining. Hopefully I get better with that as like I stream more, like explaining, articulating myself. Okay. So, Barus. Okay, this is definitely my favorite. I think a lot of people's favorite because it does everything correctly. Almost. I'm gonna get to some of these in a minute, but I think for the most part, this is a very good character design. Very good. Like the problem I said with Sana, where like these look like her like main color palette, but then you don't see it anywhere else on her design. There's like random colors here for some reason that isn't anywhere else. Like it's not very together. But then when you look at Barus, this is just so good. Like you see these color, just from a distance you can tell what her main colors are. It's like this turquoise, blue green, this red, and then this yellow. Very bright, very prominent, very eye-catching, very nice. But why am I saying that? And then but then it's also like prominent everywhere else through this design. Like, see this color here is over here, and then it's contrasting. These two are very nice. They're contrasting each other. It's over here, and then the red is down here and here. And then I like how for the main part it doesn't go all the cyan and the yellow. balances it out with some reds and whites and blacks and whites. Very nice. I like that. I think one thing, not really a problem, just one thing I would change is I would switch this and this so then like it's more, so then like, so then this is more like this and then this is more like that, you know what I mean? Then it would be crisscross and would be more visually interesting than if it was just on the same side. That's maybe just my opinion, probably is, but you know, this is what the point is, to give opinions. Another thing I really fucking like is this rat trap that's on her ear, like very rat trap, mouse trap. It's a very nice, it's a very creative way of making an accessory for a mouse, especially one for the. I think her concept was chaos, and this is a very good way to do some visual storytelling because it both relates to her as a rat mouse, but then it also relates to her as like chaos because clearly she was trying to get to some cheese and then she got caught. You know, very nice, very nice. And I like this cheese bit on her collar, even though technically it would mold probably, but very nice way to use, very creative way of designing. Then there's this key that I hope they'll like do something with it because it's just a random key, and I think the key thing really reminds me of like maybe old games or like where you'd like the main point was to grab a key, and I don't know why I kind of associate that with mouse, but I don't know, it kind of reminds me of like old games where you had to run to get a key and maybe the character you play would be a rat. I don't know what I'm thinking of, to be honest, but it kind of reminds me of that. There's also a dice, and I think that's behind her ears here. Again, very nice nod to her chaos concept because the dice, it's like the roll of the dice, taking the risk, like random outcome, you know, very, very nice nod at chaos in general. Very nice. Oh, and I love her sleeve with these like these ribbons and these dead rats. And that's also kind of nice and chaotic. And I like the design of the rat here too, like it has all the colors and it's all very balanced out. It's not like just randomly 3 colors on it. I like that. Chaos, there's like a planet on here that I feel like might be a nod to Sana, but not entirely sure myself. But yeah, and then there's also her inner outfit, which I think is interesting. Her skirt has this like crisscross thing that I feel like is kind of random and just slapped on because it's not really incorporated onto the skirt. It's just slapped on with like some buttons, and so that's a bit like I wouldn't call it lazy. It's more just like it's like they finished it and then was like, huh, what else can I do? And they just slapped on. I think they should have just made it like a belt or something so that it would just be like over maybe like this and then like that, so then it's more like a belt or something like that. That could be interesting. So yeah, that's definitely something they could do. And she also has these belts that are on her thighs, which is interesting, but I can't really tell where it's like going. Is it just a belt that's on her thigh? It's just wrapped around. Still interesting, I guess. Oh, but I really love this like puffed out thing that's only on one side of her legs. On only one of her legs. Drink more water. Because yeah, again, that does break up the monotony. Very nice. Though I would put on this side and this on this side or something. So again, it would be crisscrossing instead of directly below it, you know, more like eye flow, I think, because then her hair, like if this was on this side, then the eye flow, we would see it go like this, and that could be interesting. And yeah, or yeah. So yeah, I think Bado's design is probably the best one here. Very nice use of colors, very creative ways of doing like accessories instead of just plopping them on here as like just a floating thing. It's actually kind of an earring here, and I really like it. Yeah, I mean, everyone's design is very nice. Don't get me wrong. It's just it's a bit there's like a lot of decisions I don't get, I guess. And also when you look at them all, it kind of feel not very in harmony. And I see a lot of people say this too, because not only are the designs a bit like not they're all very different from one another, which isn't bad. It's more like it's like the people at cover I can't remember the name. I think their company was Cover, and I feel like the people at Cover, they just came up with this idea of a council of a what is it called again? Fuck, of like celestial concepts, and then they just gave it to each of the artists, but the artists aren't allowed to literally like work with each other to like bounce ideas off or like see each other's design to find a way to make them all coherent. They just kind of did their own thing, and then when you bring them all together, they're kind of everywhere, you know. Like if they hadn't told you this was one unit, could you really tell that this was actually one unit? Could you? Because a lot of people say that too. Like if they hadn't told us this was one unit, one generation that was like supposed to debut together, supposed to work together as a group, then I couldn't really tell, because these designs are all over the place. Their styles are all over the place. It's, very not together. The first generation was pretty well, though. I don't really know how, but I think it's mainly like the designs are a lot more like similar to one another. Like, not the design, the style. And like, I don't want to say that you shouldn't do your own style, but it's more like these aren't very together. Because like they're all very different from one another, and not in like a way that's like still coherent. Like they're all over the place. It's the best way I can explain it. Yeah, okay, so I think I have some time to do some some anime idol outfits. So I'm gonna do some of that, and let's start with trying to think of like an outfit that I really like here. You know what? I've been watching. I started watching. I started quote unquote, but I finished I2. I started and finished I2 in like a couple days, and I2 is like a male idol multimedia project that has an anime which I watched, and it's essentially like idols in training. So two is the two in I2 is the one in Japanese for in the middle. So like two gaku is middle school, and so 2 is just like in the middle, in between. And so I2 is in idol in between, idol in training. So yeah. So I've been really into that, and I saw some really good designs. Let me just see if I can find it. No, I might also talk about just their character itself, because I also really like the way their character is designed. So let's start with, let's start with this one. And obviously, like, being a multimedia project, they also have a game. So basically, all of these groups, they have a bunch of outfits. So I'm just gonna choose like one and go from there, because I do not have the time to talk about all of them. Oh my god, I do not. But okay, is there a full body version? I want to see them full body. Okay, so this is the only one I could find that kind of has most of their bodies on. Sorry, my voice keeps cracking. That's just because I'm talking a lot. Maybe I should slow down a bit. Let's take a drink of water and slow down a bit. Okay, slow down. So this is Twinkle. Zoom in and hold on. There we go. I hope that doesn't distort too much. Can you still see that? If I like zoom in, hopefully you can. But yeah, so this is Twinkle Bell from I2, and it's the obligatory twin group. So basically, in a lot of fucking idol groups, I think it's mostly male idol groups, though there might be some female ones too. Anime, obviously, there's no way you can just plan a bunch of real life twin idol groups. But yeah, in anime, in most anime idol animes, mostly male idol animes, I think there probably is a couple females one. I don't know. The female one usually is just another AKB48, where it's just like a bunch of girls and they're all in the same group. But usually in male idol animes, they're split into smaller groups. So like there may be a 3-person group, a 2-person group, a 5-person group, something like that, maybe even a 6-person group. But yeah, so this is a duo, Tinkerbell the twin, and like I said, there's a bunch of twins in idol animes. Fuck. But I think Twinkle from I2, I think they did the best. Like when you look at say Twink from Twink to Wink 2 and then Wink from I believe it was Ensemble Stars. They had an interesting concept where I think one of them, like, I think they got into idol because one of them had an injury and they couldn't do soccer anymore, so they did thing. But like their designs are just the same. Maybe I'll just pull up a bunch of these. Okay, you know what? I'll just finish this with just a talk on twin idol groups, anime idol groups. But yeah. So Twink, let's just get something of them. I don't know. Oh god. These are gonna be really like pixelated because yeah, what? That's really weird. Yeah, okay, this is gonna be kind of pixelated because we're just gonna have to live with it because I can't really find a high quality one, to be honest. Okay, and then I believe the other one was... what was it again? Am I blanking on all these? Oh no, wait, what am I doing? Twink is from Ensemble Star, but they aren't the one I was thinking of. No, the one I'm thinking of was Win from B-side. Right. The one I'm thinking of was... hold on. Fuck. What's Idolmaster? Fuck. Yeah, Idolmaster has a B-side where it's just like M-side? B-side? M-side, right? Yeah, male side. Right. A side where it's just like the group, and I believe it was W or Win or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, here we go. So, okay, there's gonna be a talk about twin idols. Twin anime idols. So yeah, so the one I was thinking of that I thought was Twink to Wink was actually W from Side M. Idolmaster Side M. And the concept was interesting, but like they look too similar to one another, I guess is what I'm saying, because when they do twins in anime, the thing they try to do mostly is just like they have the exact same character design, but then they do little things like have their hair go the opposite ways, and maybe one of them wears glasses and like yada yada, to separate them, quote unquote. But in the end, they're the same character. And it's even worse with Twink. Now, I didn't really watch Ensemble Stars too much because I think Ensemble Stars, the anime, they mostly meant for it to be like for the people who already played Idolmaster Side M, so they know all the characters. So like in the first episode, they just dumped a bunch of characters on us, and we're just meant to know exactly what they are after like one introduction. And I'm just like, I don't know any of these characters. I can't get into that. So yeah, I didn't really watch Ensemble Stars that much, but just looking at these two, again, they're the exact same design, the exact same character, except like I guess one of them is a bit more flirty with his like tongue out, and their outfits are the exact same too, just like with some change in color, just like so this is green, this is pink, this is green, this is pink, yada yada. And I don't really like that too much when they do twins, because they always think that the twins, that they're just always the exact same, but I think Twinklebell did the best here. Here, look at this. So, just looking at the characters and stuff, they are not the same character, but you can still tell they are twins. Like, their hairstyles are similar enough so that you can tell they're meant to be related, but, like, what the hell with their names again? I'm blanking. I think he's Satsuki and he's Mutsuki, if I can remember it right. Yeah, Satsuki and Mutsuki. But you can see Mutsuki's hair is a bit more curly, and he's a bit more like calm. He's a bit more reserved. He's a bit more gentle, and the curves represent that. Like I said, visual storytelling, like gentle curves. Tell us of his character. Like he's a very, I don't know why I'm lining his head here because that's not anything. But yeah, the gentle curves here, it very much defines his character, or like not defines, it tells us his character that he's a very gentle character compared to his brother here. And his brother, one minute. And his brother Satsuki is a lot more extroverted. Oh yeah, no. So this is an extrovert, this is an introvert, and you can see that with how they draw their eyes. Like he's a bit more gentle, and he's a bit more like extroverted, and his hair also like reflects that because his hair is like a lot sharper, a lot flatter, a lot sharper, a lot smoother. Not smoother, a lot like, I mean smooth, yes, but a lot sharper, and then that shows us his dynamic, his character. So he's a lot more like extrovert. He's a lot more not outgoing. He's a lot more open, I guess. He's a lot more loud. He's a lot more like he's very head on is what I'm trying to say, like very head on. But then Satsuki is a lot more calmer, so like yeah, they did a great job like separating these two, but then also like enough to show us that they are in fact twin. Like instead of having just one of them wearing glasses and whatever, they both wear glasses, but the thing is Satsuki does not need his glasses. So this is an effort on his part to like be more similar to his brother, whereas with these other two, they're just like inherently very much similar to each other. Like it's not on their, they don't want, it's not, how do I put this, they're not intentionally wanting to be similar to each other, even though that's what the story tells us. Like they can't just look, they just like will themselves to look the same, but like they clearly just look the exact same. But then with Satsuki and Mutsuki, you can see they actively want to like show us that they care for each other, and they are brothers, and they want to show that they are brothers, and they like that. Oh, I think. But yeah, I think Satsuki and Mutsuki definitely the best design because he's making an effort to look like his brother wearing glasses. But yeah, definitely these two are the best. I think I'm gonna end it here for today though, because it's getting kind of late. I should probably go eat. But yeah, I hope everyone had a nice time today, and this will be archived, so yeah. And follow me on my Twitter and Twitch. It's in the description below, and probably on my description too. Yeah. So have a nice